So yesterday you were tasked with creating the Mug Wump family. You had quite the tedious task of plotting a whole bunch of points and creating the new Wump family members. So you, if you recall, were given this sheet. You were given the coordinates of Mug Wump. I asked you to apply these new rules for Zug, Lug, Bug, as well as Glug, and then to create their pictures in the coordinate plane. And so there was also the 4 here that you should have recorded what they look like with those new coordinates. So I am providing you guys with the answer key. And so I want you to very quickly scan and check your work with the answer key work that is provided in front of you. If there's any errors, make sure you obviously make those fixes. But hopefully you did a nice job on these. So if you need to, pause the video so that you can correct those answers. I also want you to check out the picture of Mug on the coordinate grid and compare him with what you drew. That is what Mug Wump should look like. And then to describe his shape, some words that you could have used are that he has a trapezoid body, he has a triangular nose, and you can be more specific with the triangle. You could say it's an isosceles triangle. We also know he has square legs and then also a rectangular shaped mouth as well. On the bottom part with the graphs of the other 4 members, you will see the rules written next to their names and then the pictures of what those Wump family members would in fact look like. So pause the video, take a second, do a quick check, make sure that your answers are accurate with the answers that are provided in front of you. Now, after taking all of this time to set up what these Wump family members look like, we need to start to discuss how and why they are different. Remember with the Wump family, they should look like a scaled drawing of Mug Wump. If it's distorted in any way, if it's stretched or shrunk or pulled, either horizontally, vertically, or just looks off in some way, then we can identify those as being imposters. So for a quick glance at Zug, I want you to compare Zug's picture here, 2X, 2Y, to the original Mug Wump. And I want you to think of, are these pictures similar? Do they show, in fact, an imposter, or do you think it's pretty accurate? And I want you to pay maybe attention to the rule as well. 2x, we multiplied the x coordinate by 2, and then 2y, we multiplied the y coordinate by 2. Then to bring attention to the one to the right, Lug, you will see that Lug was created when we multiplied x by 3, and then we actually left y by itself. And from first glance, hopefully you noticed that that picture of Lug definitely looks different than the original Mug. He does in fact actually have the same height as the original. So he is 7 units tall, Lug is. And if you look at what Mug was also 7 units tall. However, if you look at the width, you will see that that has made a big change. Lug is now 3 times as long, and I knew it was 3 because of this multiplication by 3 up here. So this Lug is in fact an imposter. The next one we're going to look at is Bug. Bug looks similar to Zug. If we look at our rule as well, we have our 3x and our 3y. So I am thinking that, in fact, that this is a member of our Wump family. It is not an imposter. We multiplied x by 3. We multiplied y by 3. And you start to see that this here is double in size, and bug is triple in size. And again, make those connections back to the rules as well. The last one we'll look at is glug. Glug looked like he was stretched a little bit taller. Glug, we left x by itself, but we multiplied y by 3. And so you can see by doing that, that he has the same width. He is 8 units long here from the longest part of the base of his body. And then if you look over here, this was also in fact 8 units long. But the difference is that the height has changed drastically. When we multiplied by the y coordinate by 3, that's going to make it now 3 times as tall. However, his width is still going to remain the same. So glug would be in fact an imposter as well. So before we switch gears and kind of summarize what this activity wanted us to take away from it, I want to just go a little bit more into some of those situations, those what-if scenarios. They're actually already included in your Meaningful Notes packet. So if you were to flip through on the back of problem 1-2 that we took on Tuesday, you will see, nope, I lied. You will see we gotta go a little bit further. On the back of 2-1, right? Because we skipped 1-3. On the back of 2-1, make sure you're in the right spot. You will see these 2 questions, or these 2 situations rather, with multiple questions. There's situation A, student claims, and situation B, new rules. So before we summarize kind of what was going on in this lesson, I want you to take a few minutes right now, and you are to tell me if these statements, if these claims are true, and tell me why. If they are true, be able to prove it in some way. If they are not true, then also, again, provide some evidence as to your thinking. And then the last situation as well, I would like you to attempt. I want you to make a rule that would create a figure that would be, in fact, similar to lug. And if you remember, lug was an imposter. He did not look like mug because he became a little bit more stretched. His width became wider. His height stayed the same. So using this rule, I want you to think of how could you rewrite a new coordinate rule? What would that look like here? And then how would that impact the angle measures as well as your side lengths? He has to be similar to lug, not mug, okay? Take a couple minutes.